It's Friday, August 27th, and a Friday edition for our Facebook Live. We could not get to it yesterday, and I didn't want to go a whole week without missing you all and giving you some really important updates. So we'll just wait a few more seconds to get started, and then we have some updates and pretty good news that I think many of you will find helpful. So if you don't have time to watch this video now, I know it's during a lot of people's lunch breaks. Feel free to share this video with your friends and family if possible. So my name is Nayef Mubarak with Mubarak Law, and the first good news of the day is that our beloved case manager, Kelly Dominguez, was gone all summer because she graduated law school and then she had to study for the bar, and now that's gone, and now she's back. So I'm going to bring her on now, and that's part of my good news for the week. And let me bring her on and we'll talk about some car accident updates too. Hey, Kelly.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? How's your new office?
It's really nice view. Some good lighting in here.
Good. I just told everybody, as you know, about you taking the bar exam and everything else. And I know that was a stressful summer, but you're back, and how's it feel to be back?
I'm happy to be back. It's a lot less stressful than studying for the bar. And, you know, I like that I'm back in the office with the team and working on my cases again here in the firm.
Great. So we had a case this week, and I want to talk about this particular car accident case. And, you know, I think a lot of our viewers or people who might see this on the newsletter or YouTube will see that why I keep talking about uninsured motorist insurance, right? So tell us a little bit about, you know, this particular case with, you know, without specifics, and why we want to talk about with our audience and with the car accidents.
Of course. So with it's uninsured motorist, which we always speak about. Make sure you have in case there is no bodily injury insurance available. However, when you purchase a policy, there's something called UIM. UIM is underinsured motorist. So what occurs there is when you have a policy, you can have a bodily injury policy, and for example, minimum is $10,000. Now, if you have that coverage of UIM, the UIM will come in, and if that policy it's $50,000, for example, we can go after the bodily injury policy of $10,000, and then we can go after the UIM policy of $50,000. However, that $50,000 gets credited the $10,000 that we recovered from bodily injury, which means that you're in.
Let's break it down a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm in a car accident.
Right.
I am rear-ended.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That person who hit me has $10,000 bodily injury policy.
That's correct.
Correct so far. So the UIM, is that coming from me, my coverage?
Yes, it will be coming from you. Or it depends. If you are using someone else's car and you don't have the UIM under your policy at certain times, for example, if it's a workers' compensation claim, which is the one that we were handling this week, that UIM from the workers' compensation claim vehicle will help us if we can prove that our client doesn't have the UIM under his policy and the bodily injury recovery has already been completely taken, the settlement has occurred. Then from there, we can go ahead and pursue the UIM policy. But it is important that we have to completely recover the underlying case, which is the bodily injury case, for us to pursue underinsured motorists.
So basically, what we're talking about for everybody who's listening or will hear this, when we are hit or injured by another party and they do not have enough insurance coverage and they do not have the personal wealth for us to pursue, this is an extra insurance for your own protection. And what Kelly is talking about is our case with workman's comp. One of our clients was working. He got hit while he was working or driving a vehicle. The policy was only $10,000 from the other driver. This particular client was injured where his bills are in excess of $50,000, maybe double that amount. So if there is no if there is no uninsured motorist insurance, then he would be stuck with that $10,000 and all of those bills. So when I tell you all, please, please, please call your insurance provider, pay the extra $20, $30, $40, protect yourselves and protect your families to get the In his case, there is but it is only X amount of dollars that is not going to even cover his medical bills. So hopefully we can at least cover his bills, but it's not going to be something that unfortunately our client is going to be able to walk away with a lot of cash in his pocket because there's not enough coverage for the bills, let alone his damages. So, and he could have been stuck with just 10 if the car he was driving didn't have the for 50. And we can't stress this enough. And Kelly brought this up yesterday when we were talking about this case, that we should definitely remind you all about it. And I hope that you guys, heed our advice.
It is also important to know with workers' compensation is very different, and most firms don't always handle it in-house. So you have a workers' compensation attorney, and then you have a bodily injury attorney, which is completely different. When there is a workers' compensation claim, like in this case, they assert a lien on our case, which means we have to pay them back on top of what they've paid the client for missed time of work, for for medical treatment, and then we have to pay the doctors that the client went for on his own as well. So it's really important that you have the proper insurance there, because the worst thing that can happen, this client now, he's recommended for other surgeries and there's just no policy there. So it's really important that you do get this insurance, and we tell the clients all the time. And I know your insurance the premium will go up, but you don't want to be dealing with this when, God forbid, you do get into an accident.
Yeah, and next time, if our clients who are existing clients, I see, Bashar or Caesar watching, or anybody who always supports us and is happy to tell people that they're our clients and post reviews and share in our Facebook. If you are in the office, give us and have a question, just let me or Kelly know. We can come out, and even if it's for immigration, we'll talk to you about what's available. And we even have things like a little tip for your car insurance you can keep in the car, and this way you can have a quick reminder. So if you'd like one of these insurance card and registration holders, let us know.
Yeah, we have these. So
yeah. And it tells you about all the things, quick, really important tips. So you can ask me or Kelly for that. And remember, God forbid you're in an accident, even if you're at fault or found at fault or receive a ticket, let us know. The consultations are free. And basically we'll do an analysis to see if we think we can contest liability or not. So a lot of my clients who are immigrants or from foreign countries don't realize that there is no fee unless we recover as personal injury attorneys. Bashar says Haley is watching as well. Hey, Haley, I'm sorry. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining us. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. And I know normally we're here on Thursday. If you guys like Friday midday better, please give us feedback, and maybe we can mix it up from time to time. Kelly, anything else you want to remind people about when it comes to car accidents? As you mentioned, workman's comp. Even if we don't handle it, God forbid there's medical malpractice or something, contact us. We'll try to point you in the right direction.
Even if you're at fault, there's a lot of times we do get our clients, usually our immigration clients, calling in. They get very nervous. I was involved in an accident. They're trying to sue me. What should I do? Majority of the time, I can talk to you. We obviously cannot represent you, but we can guide you in the way of making sure that you're not so nervous about the issue that you just went through. So give us a call. I'm always free to have a conversation with any of our clients and anyone that is watching. If you have any questions, we are here to help in any way that we can. And for example, like Nayef said, we don't handle a specific type of case, we will refer you to attorneys that we do work with that have helped us on other cases, or that we send cases to on a regular basis.
Yeah, so just let us know whatever you need. We'll try to help you guys and point in the right direction. So immigration and car accidents, we can definitely help. If there's something else, a lot of times we get called for family law or civil litigation or bankruptcy. We don't handle that stuff, but we can definitely send you in the right direction. Kelly, I'm going to go through some immigration updates. Do you want to hang out?
Do I have a choice?
Yeah. We'll hang out for a couple minutes. And
okay.
Kelly doesn't work in our immigration division, so she might not have a lot of input on this. But
I've been through the system, so I do know immigration in the sense that, I have been through the system, and we do always try to help our clients. Like Nayef said, a lot of our clients might be out of status, undocumented, and for personal injury, that's one of the main reasons why I enjoy personal injury, to be able to help clients with immigration that are having issues with immigration.
Yeah, so if you have any inputs about, like, some things that you may have seen from your own experience, I didn't want to put you out there, but thank you for sharing that you've gone through this process yourself. And so these updates I'm about to explain to everybody when it comes to immigration is you're going to see how literally policy can change from week to week, right? So I know the last couple of years, processes have been taking longer. COVID has made it worse. People are waiting for their husbands and wives to get an appointment at an embassy. And we are trying to do everything we can, I promise you. And part of our job is to stay on top of the changes that constantly happen to week. And for example, just yesterday, we had a meeting to talk about prosecutorial discretion, where I talked about we can ask people to terminate their court proceedings. We've talked about that a couple times on here. Well, just yesterday we had to have a meeting because that policy is changing. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys a little bit about this. So if you remember, at the end of May, DHS issued a memorandum that's stating that removal and enforcement priorities for people who they would like to focus their energies on to remove from the United States, and to give discretion for those who are not priorities. This allows us to try to terminate people who are in court proceedings. Well, guess what? We've been enjoying this for about 2 months. Texas and Oklahoma sued President Biden, and now Texas court issued an injunction, meaning that PD had to stop. But then the order was later clarified that they're staying the injunction, which means they're putting it on hold, allowing us to continue to get these PD requests in for a very limited time. Like, if the judge decides to lift the stay, which he can do at any time, then PD is now off the table again because there's an injunction. So literally we go from preparing something and we're ready to file it one day, and then there can be a court order, and the next day the whole system stops. So this is not politics, but when I tell people there needs to be immigration reform, because it simply is leading to a broken system where from administration to administration, policy is literally changed overnight with signature of a pen or in a few minutes, and then back and forth from the courts. So I think there needs to be some major clarity on this. Now, during our meeting yesterday, we had about 10 clients who have these PD requests that we need to file. So we are stopped what we were doing, and then we are now focusing on these 10 cases yesterday and today to get them filed on time. So just kind of gives you some insight about what we are dealing with when it comes to immigration policy changes. Okay, COVID, I know we're tired of hearing about COVID, but I want to talk about a quick travel ban. In some countries people are banned from entering the United States due to the high COVID numbers. One of these countries is Brazil. Now, unless you meet the national interest exemption, then you cannot enter. So we have to prove that it's in the national interest to admit an individual. Now, this could be somebody who might be an incredible surgeon or physician or researcher, where we have to contact the embassy, or international students. Often you might fall under this exemption. So we filed one less than 3 weeks ago, and we got an approval, I believe yesterday or the day before. So that's additional good news to Kelly being back. So for our clients from Brazil who want to visit but might be subject to the travel ban, please let us know, and we can try to see if you qualify for this ban. The other alternative, of course, if you're stuck and you're like, hey, I'm not really a Nobel Peace Prize winner, how do I get to visit my family? Well, as long as you have a visa, you could quarantine in another country. Many Brazilians are going to Mexico, for example, for 2 or 3 weeks before they enter the United States, and that's permitted. It's not a complete ban if you have a Brazilian passport. It's a matter of where are you entering from. All right. Okay, a couple more things. And there was a question last time from the Facebook Live that we saw after the fact. So I'm going to take this moment to answer the submitted questions. I believe it was from Miss Yvette, and it was about another policy change. So typically there's a process called change of status. And change of status means I'm here as a tourist. Kelly's an international student. I say I want to be an international student, so I file to change my status. Well, to change your status, you had to what's called bridge the gap on your tourist visa extension. So that means every 6 months you have to file a tourist visa extension until your change of status to F1 was approved. The F1 cases were taking 8 to 12 months. Sometimes people were filing 2 or 3 bridge the gap applications for their F1. What do you know? After doing that for a couple of years, this policy is now gone. So we no longer, which is some good news, have to file a 539 extension to bridge the gap for your change of status for your international student visa. This is super helpful for our clients who are already spending so much money to study here that they don't need an arbitrary application just to bridge the gap. So that's was a great question. I'm sorry we missed it last week. And thank you to Attorney Ravani, who did an incredible job talking about domestic violence, visa options, U-Visa, VAWA. Attorney Ravani already has like 1,800 views on her video. So I think people found it very helpful. And thank you for covering last week's Facebook Live. So it is the end of the month, which means that we have our last Saturday consultations. Last Saturday of every month, we do Saturday consultations. So we understand that you all might be working Monday through Friday. So once a month, we offer our Saturday consultations. And then next week is going to be the 1st of September, which means our newsletter is going to be coming out. So look for that. You'll see updates from Kelly, from personal injury, from me, Ravani, all about immigration to talk about, keep you all informed, client reviews and things like that. And if you have any suggestions, just let us know. There is going to be form changes from USCIS. So if you're filing for your citizenship application on your own, for example, please double check the form. Remember, the forms are always free from uscis.gov. Do not pay any shady website for the forms. Okay. That wraps us up for today. We have more updates for you.
Also, Nayef, just
Yes.
1 second. Remember, with the naturalization forms, they can do it online now. It gives you the option to fill online.
Yeah, so there's a lot of forms. Thanks, Kelly. There's a lot of forms that you could do online now, like TPS registrations. So if you're Haitian or Venezuelan, TPS registration period is open. You can do so online. But just make sure you're doing it from the secure website, uscis.gov. At that website, there's application fees, but you should not be paying for the forms. So make sure the fee matches the instruction page, or give us a call and schedule a consult, and we'll try to do our best to help you out. That's it for us. Here's our contact information. Kelly, thank you for joining.
Of course.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
And we do have a couple of trials that are gonna go for personal injury and car accidents. So perhaps in the future we might show you all a little bit more info on what happens at a trial, and so you guys can get some behind the scenes look at how we prepare and go for that. Kelly, do you have anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you for having me. And everyone
Okay.
have a great weekend, great and safe weekend.
Happy Friday. Makes everybody happy to be here. And share our video and follow us on our socials, please. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.